taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is the last trading day of the month, Friday, January 30th. Hope everybody's having a good January. S&P was down a lot more, but it's down 28 points right now. NASDAQ futures down 174. Russell down 28 full percent lower. And the Dow is down 148. Gold and silver selling off, Watson. Gold's down 5%, silver's down 14%, back below 100, around 98. Notes and bonds a little bit red, 10-year yield up 0.5%, oil up 0.5%, natural gas up over 4%, soybeans lower, wheat a little bit higher, corn a little bit lower, euro and the pound are both down about 1/3%, Bitcoin down almost 1.5%, VIX bouncing up. A little over 5.5%, currently at 17.83 at the freeze. At the open, I will be doing a 1 DTE Iron Condor, which is actually a 3 DTE using Monday options. I will be doing a 6/7 put calendar. I will be doing my normally scheduled BICs. However, I will close those early due to last day of the month. And then I will be doing a last day of the month RIC at the end of today during Power Hour. We had Apple last night after the bell. Initial move was higher. It's actually dipping into the red right now as we come into the market open. SNDK had earnings. It shot up. It's up like 22%. Yeah, 21% now. So big move in SNDK, kind of a nothing in Apple. So today's Friday, so you can trade either the 0-day or the 7 DTE. During the live stream, my focus will be on the 7-day just because they move a little bit slower. Unless otherwise specified, if there's something I really decided to take a 0-day on, I'll let you know. But otherwise, if I don't say anything, it'll be on the 7-day options. Kind of at the top of my watch list, I definitely wouldn't trade 0-day DTE on Apple because they just had earnings. There's going to be some more IV premium in there, especially for the first, call it 15, 30 minutes. So if I were to take one in Apple, I would definitely do 7 DTE. SNDK is at all-time highs. We'll see what that one does. It's moving, so it could be in play. I like Meta and MU if they break higher. They've just got a kind of good longer-term chart setup. Otherwise, we will just see what happens. Opening bell in 3 seconds. Oh, sorry. I'm at 30 seconds. SPX looks like the expected range today is going to be around 45 up or down. Okay, now we got 3 seconds till the bell. I will mark the expected move in SPX at 45.42. $45.42. So that gives us a lower level of about 69.01. Upper level of about 69.92, right at yesterday's high. All right, initial move, getting a little bounce in SPY and QQQ and IWM. Netflix is bouncing into the green. Microsoft made a little push pre-market, but falling back down. Tesla's up over 2%. SNDK right at highs. Just ticked a new all-time high at the open. AMD starting to bounce back above yesterday's lows. All right, getting my calendars filling here. Getting my calendar and my 1DTE posted. Banks bouncing, not too strong, just around unchanged. MU holding above previous day high. SNDK, a little dip. So for MU, I'd like to see something above pre-market highs to get interested in going long. SMH is bouncing, PLTR bouncing. Netflix is kind of strong here. AVGO starting to bounce. Netflix, I kind of marked on the hourly chart. I marked this this little trend line from the overnight consolidation area. We're popping up above that. AVGO pushing above pre-market highs. AVGO acting strong. I'm going to load up some AVGO calls. I would trade the 7DTE. Oh, actually, there's the Monday, Wednesday, Friday on those. I would do the 3DTE then on AVGO. And I'll choose the 340 calls. That's kind of handy. Just getting these loaded up because it's one of the strongest. NVIDIA is kind of chopping right under unchanged. Amazon's starting to push up to pre-market highs. So on Amazon, I'm going to load up the 3 DTE calls on the 242.5 strike. So Amazon and AVGO kind of showing the best relative strength here so far. S&P pushing up, Russell pushing up, NASDAQ pushing up. Both indices just popped above pre-market highs. AVGO, a little bit of rejection at previous day high, pulling back to pre-market high. Let's see what it does here. Watching AVGO, if we get a quick reaction off this pre-market high back up towards previous day high, I'm going to take an early upside runner using the 340 calls. Those are the 3 DTE. SMH, little pullback. AVGO still pulling back. Amazon acting strong still. Amazon kind of chopping above pre-market high. Meta, Microsoft dipping. AVGO pushed back below pre-market highs, so I'll need to see some strength before I consider anything there. Amazon's still going strong. Didn't really give an entry, but definitely relative strength in Amazon. Weakness in Meta and Microsoft. AVGO trying to pop back up above pre-market high. Watching AVGO here. AVGO had that little dip, but looks like it wants to run. All right, I'm taking AVGO. It's the 340 calls, 3 DTE. Kind of a delayed fill. Got filled at average 288. Pop back up to previous day high. Take some off at 330. See if we can get any continued strength in AVGO. First profit target at 330. Filled at 330. NVIDIA pushing into the green. MU now pushing through highs. Getting some strength coming in on the chips. That was a little, I accidentally doubled up on AVGO too on my size because I hit the button twice. It was kind of a delay, so got lucky there. Start scaling out more aggressively here. I'll take some more off at 380. AVGO still holding above previous day high. Amazon pushing up, almost green. Oh, nice little hold and pop on AVGO. Getting close to my 380 profit targets, trading at about 370. Didn't quite tick it. Amazon, a little pullback, a little rejection at previous day close. AVGO filled at 380. Nice. Nice. Good start, kids. Good start. ASML pushing into the green. SMH strong. Apple weak, Meta weak, Microsoft weak, Nvidia strong, Netflix strong, Tesla choppy, Google strong, S&P and NASDAQ looking pretty strong. All right, next profit target in AVGO, I'll put it 450.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
A little pullback in S&P and QQQ. MU pulled back right to previous day high and bounced. Looks like it's wanting to go up to pre-market highs, potentially and beyond. MU's got all-time highs in play. It's already at all-time highs. Amazon pulled back. Keep my eye on Amazon if it decides to get strong again here. Right back to that pre-market high level in Amazon. I would trade the 242 halves 3 DTE on Amazon. Amazon's starting to bounce. AVGO pulling back to previous day high. S&P back to pre-market high. NASDAQ a little bit below. Russell just chopping after that first 5-minute bar. Bitcoin pushing. AVGO trying to make another run back up to highs. Amazon looking like it's kind of wanting to reclaim that pre-market high. Apple week after earnings. Meta starting to bounce a little bit. Microsoft still weak. Nvidia rejecting. Tesla rejecting. Goog trying to push back up. S&P and NASDAQ showing some weakness now. Amazon's still bouncing while the S&P and NASDAQ coming down. MU's still staying strong. AVGO still staying strong. I like Amazon long here, but I'm going to hold off for now. See if this weakness in the indices gets bought up. AVGO could not extend through highs. It's still chopping right above previous day high. MU looks like it wants to push. Yeah, there goes Amazon. Nice pop. Google, nice pop. Nvidia trying to buy up its dip. Actually, I didn't do any pre-market stuff on Goog. Amazon up to highs. AVGO still just kind of trading right at previous day high. Kind of rejected a couple times right around that 338 level. Amazon looks like it wants to break through. Google still pushing. Microsoft starting to bounce, staying green on the day. So Amazon ticked above highs, ticked into green territory, but no follow through yet. Google just went green. Netflix, a little dip. Looks like it's getting bought up. Considered adding to AVGO, but I already kind of messed up and double dipped on my size, so I'm just gonna stick with what I got here. Don't want to press my luck. I like these stocks that have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday options now, though. That's because I hate trading 7-day options on Friday. But 3 DTE, I like that much better. Anybody else
Order
get in
cancelled.
AVGO with me?
Order partially filled.
Or did anyone take Amazon?
Order filled.
Amazon's still pushing.
Order filled.
Nice. A Bosch. Hondo, Amazon, nice. NVIDIA tried to push back up to highs of day. Banks holding strong. All big three are green now. Amazon pushing through. Nice push out of Amazon. The weakness in the indices kind of gave me pause on Amazon, but it's definitely showing relative strength. And now they bounced and it's extending. So nice trade there. Netflix still pulling back. AVGO, no extension. Back to previous day high. 15 minutes sitting there now. Yeah, Krish, so I just, as I continue to narrow my focus on trades and become more and more focused on just very specific things, yeah, I can't do everything. Nothing, absolutely, obviously nothing wrong with trading those, but I've just kind of really narrowed my focus to, using levels, and I just decided that that's kind of more in my wheelhouse. If you try to watch for too many things, you end up missing trades. You end up, it's the whole jack of all trades, master of none type scenario. ASOC, AVGO paper trade. Hey, that's awesome though. Getting the feel, figuring it out while you're not having to risk any money. I love it. Medfly, Amazon, nice. All right, AVGO is starting to dip here. I don't want to give back much. Amazon's still pushing. All right, S&P and NASDAQ getting weaker. AVGO coming down. All right, I'm going to give AVGO just a minute here on this pre-market high level. See if it wants to bounce, otherwise I'm going to cut. SMH kind of dipping. Got my finger on the trigger to bail on AVGO. That was kind of a quick little sell-off there. Let's see if it gets bought up. Well, there's a little bounce. Let's see if that was just a short-lived little dipper. NASDAQ pretty choppy. S&P pretty choppy. Russell's coming down after a big push initially. Bitcoin coming down. Amazon's still pushing. Nice trade in Amazon. Microsoft still trying to bounce. Nvidia cannot get through into the green territory. Keeps getting whack-a-moled. AVGO's bounce not sustaining here. MU's coming down. S&P, NASDAQ trying to bounce a little bit. AMD bouncing, had a little flush right before the market opened. Now it's acting strong. S&DK all downhill since the open. Still up a little, 17% though. Watson, that should help you, right? IWM down to lows. We don't have any news, do we? We had PPI pre-market. Yeah, nothing. No 9 a.m. news. MU coming down. Come on, AVGO. Fight off the haters. Stay strong, little buddy. It's right at the level where I got in. So I don't want to give any back. Amazon dipped a little bit back down to previous day close, starting to bounce. All right, I'm going to cut my remaining AVGO. Filled at 242. Gave more back on that than I wanted to, but had to give it a chance at that level. Amazon dipping into the red now. Apple starting to bounce. Apple did have earnings, remember? Little flush to open. Gapped up after earnings, coming down. Now it's bouncing. All right, seeing some weakness come in here. S&P, NASDAQ still pushing lower. IWM really getting weak. IWM down a full over 1% now again. Bitcoin getting weak. Amazon couldn't hold. AVGO really coming down now, so good exit. MU giving it up all the way back down near lows. All right, so Google and Amazon still staying relatively strong. That was a pretty decent little dip in the NASDAQ and S&P. Google and Amazon just had a little dip. Microsoft didn't really dip much either. PLTR has been really weak, and it is approaching pre-market lows. That could be one that I would potentially short. Pushing below pre-market lows right now. MU bouncing off previous day high. Nice bounce out of Microsoft. Nice bounce out of Goog. Definitely not of direction here. I mean, just looking at the S&P and NASDAQ, you can see how choppy they are. Looking at PLTR for puts, I would do 0 DTE puts in PLTR on the 147 strike. 0 DTE 147 puts in PLTR. I want to see some so it's kind of bouncing around pre-market lows. I would want to see some some selling come in and before I would take those, but I'm watching it. Hood was strong. It rejected at previous day high with some volume. MU flushed through previous day high. So a lot of chips showing weakness. SNDK is only up 12% now. Was up 19 or was up 22% pre-market? SMH down to lows of day. Apple's still bouncing. Amazon's a little bounce getting pushed back down. Meta weak. No weakness coming in again in PLTR yet. I've got my order ready. Got my order ready on the PLTR 147 0 DTE puts. If it does start to show that weakness under previous day pre-market lows again, but it's kind of bouncing. So watching PLTR on the downside, I still like Amazon. On the upside, Google also kind of dipped right to pre-market highs. It's been kind of strong all morning. Now S&P, NASDAQ trying to bounce. So pretty choppy. Cut a nice one in AVGO. And then the one in Amazon that some of you guys got was a nice one. Otherwise, I don't really see much else. Yeah, so PLTR, pretty decent bounce now, so that one's kind of off the table. Amazon taking another shot. Google taking another shot. Watson, so hateful this morning. Tesla trying to make its way up to highs of day. Goog
Order
pushed
filled.
through. Amazon about to push through.
Order cancelled.
Strength coming in the
Order
indices.
filled.
Be back in 1 minute. Anybody still in Amazon? Or anybody double dip in Amazon? That boy, Hondo. Hondo, I feel like you're starting to come into your own here on the day trading. Scooby double dip. Nice. Medfly still in. Nice job. Nice work, guys. Oh, good. I'm glad that was helpful. Yeah, if you guys ever have any questions or need any clarity on any of the little nuances or things that you see me do that you question, always let me know. I'm happy to kind of dive deeper on things, do additional videos. Like I said, I'm in the process of getting ready to kind of redo the day trading course to kind of add in some of the more nuanced stuff that I do these days. So any feedback like that from you all that you think would be helpful, let me know. Tesla popped through highs of day with a little volume spike. Goog, nice push in Goog. S&P approaching high of day. You should have got the replay link by email this morning, Watson. Orlando he should post it somewhere. Probably in the day trading chat, he'll post it. Goog's still pushing. Whoa, Anil, what is that link? That's not our link. But it gets you there. I don't know where that link came from. That's a weird looking link. Yeah, but when you click on that, it redirects to our link, which is this one. So I'm not sure what that was. But anyway, either one. All right. Amazon's still pushing up to previous day high. AVGO trying to stay green. SMCI pushed through highs. Microsoft still bouncing. Meta's starting to bounce after being weak most of the morning. So I mentioned Meta this morning pre-market because, they had that big gap up after earnings. Played that yesterday strong after the as it held the earnings expected move. It's still above that. It's just been kind of consolidating essentially in this kind of wide range since after the earnings gap up. So still hasn't pushed through that highs that it hit after earnings or right at the open the next morning. So Meta's definitely on my bullish watch list. But I need to see something to get in. S&P trying to go green. NASDAQ close to highs of day. Apple trying to go green. NVIDIA still trying to go green. It's been trying to go green all morning. NVIDIA rejecting again. MU falling apart. Falling apart. PLTR still holding above pre-market lows. Apple may want to go somewhere. It had an initial good reaction to earnings and it flushed this morning, but it's trying to make a move. Amazon dipped but popped back up again.
Yeah, with Qs inside this range, like Tesla.
Ooh, PLTR starting to get aggressive on the bounce now. I'm going to give Apple a shot. Yeah, it's. I mean, the likelihood of it getting up to 263 or higher is probably unlikely, but we'll see where this push goes. It kind of looks like it may have just kind of flushed the previous day lows, triggered some stops, and may want to run here. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'll close later today. Don't want to take max loss if we can get out for something. Nvidia trying to go green again. Tesla showing some strength. Got kind of a pre-market high level with Tesla that could work with. Yeah, PLTR getting aggressive now. So it said, I'm done. I'm done being the weak link. All right, so Nvidia finally pushing through here. Now it's through highs of day. SMH starting to bounce. S&P and NASDAQ staying at the top of their ranges. Meta's little bounce getting shut back down. All right, I'm keeping an eye on Nvidia here.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
On Nvidia, I'm going to load up the 3 days to expiration. I would trade the 195 calls. I'm also going to load up the 3 DTE calls in Tesla. I would use the 435 strike. Just getting them ready. Just in case I need to pounce. Both Tesla and Nvidia popping back up. So PLTR had a little reversal. It was quick, but had that just weakness, flushed that key level, pretty aggressive bounce, failed sell off. It all happened in that 1 5-minute candle, just kind of right back to pre-market lows and then bounced aggressively. Definitely would have had to been watching it like a hawk and ready to strike, but good little example of a reversal pattern. Tezzy going Tezzy. Tezzy's up almost 4% on the day. Yeah, exactly, Abash. Just putting it on my watch list so it's ready. Brandon, other than the mighty 90s, do you pay much attention to volume? Well, there's the volume runner setup, where if you get a spike of volume that's higher than the first 5-minute bar is typically the highest volume. But if you get a spike above that, depending on what the price action is doing, a lot of times that can signify continuation. So I'm not sure if you've seen the volume runner course, but that would be the only other thing that I look at volume for. Oh, sorry, Bosch, I didn't see your first part. Have you considered making a short video about psychology of supply, demand, liquidity? Yeah, that's actually going to be part of the new course for sure. Amazon staying strong. Nvidia rejecting off previous day high. Tesla staying strong. Medfly, I did a video. If you go to the 0DTE chat channel and go to the top on the pinned messages, or not the 0DTE, sorry. Here, I'll get it for you. It's the directional trading chat channel. Go to the pinned messages, and it's that first one. I'll copy it here for you. Check that out when you get a chance. Goog rejecting, Nvidia rejecting, seeing some weakness. I mean, this is some pretty serious Friday chop, kids, so I don't see anything else I'm interested in. I mean, Tesla is running. Tesla's definitely got the relative strength going right now. But I don't really have an entry. So I'm gonna wrap the stream. Any other trades I see, I will post in the trade channel. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll see you for the last power hour of January. Take care. Have a good day.